Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Gothic Dark Mysteries. So, having gathered all of the evidence about plans of the water mages, I can finally go back to the primevals. Unfortunately, there is no shortcut, and that leads directly to their temple, so we need to run through here. Which is a little bit inconvenient. Oh, for fuck's sake. Apparently that didn't work either. So that was regarding the quest from the rejects from the camp on the swamp, and this is the response. But let's also report finishing the other quest. So, as you can see, we have been attacked by the enemy. Oh damn it, the dialogue didn't load properly because I think I was too far away. So let's hope I saved in a proper place. I don't remember. So apparently I didn't save at all. What a twist. I think the Crystal of Life actually gives me additional hit points, although perhaps I should, you know, get rid of the enemies before I start to share in the plunder of the bodies of my allies. I'm just worried that I will forget about it. Okay, let's talk with Algirion. This time I'll try to be... Okay. I must say that even disregarding the poor quality of the translation, I still find it more than a little baffling that apparently this mod combines really like high fantasy themes with really colloquial and kind of like juvenile, almost like juvenile language. For example, in that conversation over there, he was first talking about, the great evil that looms over the world and whatever, and it all sounded very grave and important, and then all of a sudden he was like, you have to kick his ass, and I totally don't get it. But then again, you have to consider that from what I understand, many of the developers of this mod were actually teenagers when they first started working on it, because it took them a couple years. So, like, in general, I am not at all a fan of the main storyline. I think it's a little too convoluted and it plays a little too fast and loose with the lore of Gothic, but I do enjoy this mod mainly for its addition to the environment and to the locations, and also for all of the side quests. Like, as I already mentioned, for example, the camp in front of the mine is something that I would totally see belonging to the vanilla game. Okay, so this whole story didn't make a lot of sense, unfortunately, at least to me, because, like, obviously I'm disregarding that it's new information. You have to expect that from a mod like that adds so much to the original game, and even though I don't exactly like anything, I mean everything, in this new material, I can at the very least understand that they wanted to create their own story, but what I'm talking about is that unfortunately the story of Shergar's life seems to contradict the information given in Gothic 2, because even though he was definitely right, because obviously, like, what he meant, what he was talking about is that his people were the ancestors of the people of Yarkendar from Gothic 2, and even though he was obviously right in saying that they were mightily skilled in, like, science and engineering and whatever, and that was confirmed, that is consistent with the information presented in Gothic 2. I don't think he was right in saying that none of them worshipped the original three gods of the Gothic universe, because I seem to very distinctly remember that the people of Yarkendar were actually pretty much all followers, and rather devout followers at that, of Adanos, and they invoked his name regularly, so I'm not quite sure why the developers of the mod chose such a way, because it is pretty obvious to me from all of the other references to the other games in the series that they must have been familiar with the lore of Gothic universe. So I'm not quite sure why this inconsistency exists. Okay, those should be additional bonuses, right? Oh, and the Crystal of Time will actually be useful later. But now I'm finally ready to go and deal with Uriziel. But to do that, you first need to find Beliareth's hiding place. But fortunately for me, I already know where it is.
Lepiej stąd zmykaj. Za tą barykadą zaczynają się ziemie orków.
Jest tu niebezpiecznie?
Ujmę to tak. Możesz równie dobrze oddać mi całą swoją rudę. Za kilka minut i tak nie będzie ci potrzebna, bo będziesz gryzł ziemię.
Chyba wolałbym tego nie robić.
W takim razie ani kroku dalej.
So, I was talking earlier how this location is significant, and that's because that's exactly where Beliareth's hideout is. Offer. Okay, that's just straight up cheating. I guess I should. Probably heal first. To be honest, I don't have a good plan for dealing with that. Because the problem is something that I've encountered a couple of times already in this mod, and that is that he's actually attacking you during the cutscene. I guess I can just...
Odłóż broń!
Oh.
Nigdy więcej tego nie próbuj!
I guess ignoring the conversation is out of the question. Damn it. I need to somehow survive for long enough that I can retreat and heal. Which is definitely difficult given the strength of his attack. Okay, that's kind of annoying. The most important problem is that he actually closes the distance if he were just standing at a distance, then I would have enough time to turn my tail and run, but that's just not the case. And unfortunately it seems he's invulnerable until I've had the proper conversation with him, so I'm in a bit of a predicament here. Yeah, I don't quite know what to do. I can only just about turn before he kills me. And sometimes not even that. Also, I wonder why the doors keep closing. I guess their default state must be being closed and they reset after every load. Yeah, I really don't know what to do here. Yeah, I'm at a loss here, to be honest. And the biggest problem is that he even starts to actually attack me during the cutscene, so it's not like, I mean not the cutscene but rather the dialogue, so it's not like I can attack him first. That's all definitely problematic. maybe that actually led somewhere. Because it seemed for a second. Or maybe if I hide on behind one of the chests or something. That is starting to be rather frustrating. The worst thing is that he staggers me with his first attack, so then there is nothing I can do to avoid the next ones. Okay, that is... Yeah, I'm genuinely at a loss here. Okay, let's maybe... Although I doubt this particular spell is going to work on him, because he's probably too powerful. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work, because if I remember correctly, how this spell works for some of the weaker creatures is that you can actually mind control them, and then I would try to inhabit his body and go out into the open space out there, so that I would have more space to maneuver in. But it's not going to work.
Nigdy więcej tego nie próbuj.
Facet ma dość!
Oh, I guess it
Pożyczę sobie
kinda
trochę
did.
twojej rudy.
Yeah, I guess it kinda did work. So let's try that again.
Znowu szuk...
Facet ma dość!
But it's actually a somewhat similar situation, to be honest, because he's still... Okay. At the very least, I managed to get away.
Niezła walka, ale ciut za krótka.
That's all of my ore.
Muszę już...
Niezła walka, ale ciut za krótka.
Pożałujesz tego!
Okay, let's finish taking that. the craftsmanship of the Hashashin actually gives you a bonus to your weapon skill. Or maybe just to your experience. Okay, so let's heal. And use the portal crystal. Now, interestingly, this place is actually right above the monastery of the shape-shifting monks. And also there are a couple of items laying around. But what you really want is this portal over here, but I'm going to step into it in the next episode. For this one, it has been enough, so that's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.